Bro, y'all remember Wizard Liz? She was like that girl boss content creator who got cheated on. Everyone was like, oh, that's crazy. Remember there was that whole thing where a bunch of men, they were like, oh, I'm Team Landon. I wasn't on that, by the way. But I'm saying to say, bro, if you are Team Landon, stay over there. Bro, I just saw clips of her on live in the allegations she was levying towards this man. Heinous. You can look this up in the TikTok search bar, okay? But I gathered two things. One, he made AI corn of her. He made AI corn of her. Like, I feel like him even making it in the first place could be the premise of this entire video, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, cannot be on board with this guy, okay? But then apparently it's like, he's not like holding the kid hostage, allegedly, but it's somehow a situation where if she doesn't like, you know, give him a chance to get back with her, she's not able to see the child, which is insane. Also, he got a restraining order on him because she hit him when she found out that he had the AI corn of her. But here's my thing. How hard did you have to hit him for him to be able to get a restraining order? And now, mind you, I'm never pro hitting anybody, but there are some situations where it's like, I understand the outburst. I feel like that's a situation, you find AI corn of yourself in this person's phone, that's an understandable outburst for sure. Assuming she didn't like hospitalize him or anything, which she probably did not. I'm just like, bro, assuming all that's true, poor woman. She going through it. See, that's why I was never Team Landon. I was like, bro, cheating's horrible. He's probably a bad guy. But I will say that's just her words. You know, I don't necessarily know his side of things, if there even is a his side of things. But yeah, no, those things absolutely insane.
Man, these dating coaches are going outside, man. And this one in particular, it doesn't give me any sort of joy. It's actually quite sad to watch, as you guys will see. The last one that went outside, that was hilarious. Okay, I'll be real, because she just did like literally every single thing she preached, she did the opposite. I've never ever seen anything like it. She went back on every single word. That was absolutely hilarious. She found a man with money, everything changed. This one's a bit different. And here's the thing. A lot of people come on the internet and they talk in absolutes. And even if those people mess up, they're gonna get backlash, right? But what we see oftentimes with these dating gurus is they're not just messing up. They're living like the complete, total opposite life of which they preach. And it's like, this makes absolutely no sense. What's actually going on here? Like, you're practicing nothing. If you guys don't know Wizard Liz, we're gonna get into just a few clips of her message. She's, you know, sprinkle adjacent, essentially.
Oh my God, he texts me good morning. Please. That is so embarrassing, like literally.
Just don't be afraid to ask men for things. Like, men are literally not afraid to ask us for anything. They will ask you to take your clothes off in 2 seconds, so it doesn't matter. Ask them, give me money.
What we don't do is we do not reach out anymore. We go completely, you know what, ghost to ghost. Become a ghost.
On my days that I don't look my best, I am still the best. If a person does not make you happier, more loved, or even wealthier, why are you there? I don't get it. Like, if it's not growing you, then why are you there? You wanna be someone that people are obsessed with. Why would they be obsessed with you? If you're constantly sitting in your bedroom, being sad all day, listening to sad music, watching sad shows, then you're like, oh, people should be obsessed. Obsessed with what? With what, honey? What is there to be obsessed about?
Yeah, you know, people used to call me a gold digger in the beginning of my thing. I was like, okay, and what's wrong with that? Good, a girl with goals. Yeah, exactly. God forbid a girl doesn't want a man that doesn't do anything and then creates financial trauma for her children. God forbid. People are like, oh my God, she's such a narcissist. You know, those armchair psychologists, they're sitting at home, they think they know what a narcissist is. They're like, she's such a narcissist. Yeah, and then I went and I created t-shirts from that. Went viral. People loved that shit. Take whatever they're saying to you and put it on your forehead. Okay? And losers, you just let them. Just watch how God will bless you. I swear. Anytime I've told my friends this and they've listened, they were like, oh my God, this is the best advice you've ever given. Anyways, guys, I hope this video... this right here, someone imagined it and then they created it, right? So if you imagine yourself as a version that you want to be and you start acting like it, that's when it comes into the physical realm. But it all starts here.
I wonder if you ever imagined your life being the way it is now. All these manifested it. Astrology, it ties into all that nonsense. It is just that. And it's kind of ironic. The very archetype of man that she preached against was the one that she found. Speak about manifesting. Damn.
Is it true that a man is willing to do anything for the right woman? Let me answer this. Yeah, I think when a man knows and he feels...
He brutally cheated on her. Like, he cheated on her like there was no tomorrow, okay? While she was 4 months pregnant. And you think people would see that and be like, oh, the wizard Liz is getting cheated on. Maybe she doesn't have all the answers. Like, maybe this behavior that I'm adopting from her isn't necessarily the move. But no, they're already calling him gay.
Man is a fruitcake, to put it lightly. Roll the clip.
Liz and I definitely...
They're already on it, bro. It's been less than 24 hours since the news broke. And look, I don't relish anybody getting cheated on. I don't think anybody deserves that. But it's like, if you're not familiar with her content, she's kind of like a less cartoony sprinkle woman. Like, for example, she has this post, me calling my man to transfer me money because I accidentally paid with my card instead of his. Very much into like the, oh, spoil me. Oh, ask that man for money, stuff like that. Men are losers. You can always just get a new one, drop them, stuff like that. When you have a particular kind of content, people expect your lifestyle to live up a certain way. Just like me, when I was single and I had all my, oh, yep, this was what happens on the roster, I had all those shenanigans done. When I was out and about, everyone, they expected to see me with a woman, expected me to leave the function with a woman. It was a lot of pressure on me at the time. I remember one time I fumbled this girl in front of this dude. He was like, oh, so I guess you're just a fraud, huh? It was genuinely horrible. Like, that guy, he was taking that one moment and measuring my whole life against it. But at the end of the day, I appreciated it because it made me a better player. But her image is, again, boo, you know, I can throw away a man anytime I want, bare minimum, da 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 da. And she gets cheated on? Again, like, you would think, like, she has like actual like genuine like motivational stuff that I actually consume and I think is really good. But I think when it comes to like certain like dating things, you would think like people would come to the conclusion, okay, maybe she just like doesn't have all the answers. Like, maybe the answer isn't simply just to get a rich man who will, you know, take care of me and like get me a bunch of stuff. Because, you know, the narrative is like, oh man, the cheaters, they're broke men because, you know, men cheat because they're broken and just weird stuff. Like, they have their reason they just like make up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like it would just make them take a step back. But it's like, I'm looking at all the responses and they're like, they're not thinking about that whatsoever. And look, and this is not me like saying like it's her fault or anything, but I'm just saying it's like, oh, you can do all like the due diligence you want to. Sometimes cookies just gonna crumble. It's just the nature of dating. So can we remember that like these provider men also are unfaithful at times? Like, can we remember that? That there's more to a relationship than being provided for? Like, can we think about it? It doesn't seem like that's being thought about. Okay, am I tripping?
I've always said this. When your whole mindset is, I want to provide a sprinkle, all that matters is the money, you're going to overlook other things. It's just gonna happen because you're hyper fixated on one thing. And this one thing, is it important? Sure, but it's not as important as who they are as a person. I always say, you can find predictors of wealth in someone's personality. You can find predictors of success in someone's personality, even if they're not there at that moment.
So someone asked, how did he have the money to appear like he had everything? When I met him, I don't know. He told me he had sold shares of his company and that's why he had a lot of money. And then he started buying me like all these things. And this guy was really good to me. Like really, really a good guy for a whole year, you know? And that's the guy I agreed to marry. So I don't know who this person is. I don't understand. I have never seen someone that can fake their personality like this, that can fake their whole lifestyle like this.
Was he faking his personality? Or did you get married within like 3 months? Was he faking his personality? Or did you marry someone that you just didn't know? Which one?
Okay, so the question, why did I decide to marry him so fast? I literally, when I shouldn't have done that, first of all. But second of all, like, I thought like, okay, I'm 25 now, let me just get married, let me have a kid. Like, I really wanted to. And when I met him, I really did fall in love with this guy because this guy was really good to me.
Is that what you were preaching? Hey, ladies, if you're 25, you know what I'm saying, just go get married, man. Just go do that shit, man. Was that in your message? I didn't see that. I've been scrolling. I didn't see you preach that.
Wizard Liz is living the antithesis of everything she preached about, and people do not have sympathy for her. She's been deported. Her baby daddy is making her life hell and like was gonna marry her just for her money, allegedly, but like won't come to her to see the kid and won't make anything easy for her. And people have reacted in a way where they're like, well, she should have known better. This is exactly what she preached, and yet it happened to her. To me, it just kind of reminds me how like men can have that capacity of like literally flipping a switch. They can put on that they really care about you, and then they can completely switch it off. And it's very jarring for somebody who was like preaching this manifest lifestyle, never settle for a man. She has a baby with a man before they get married. It doesn't seem like she wants to marry him. And now because of like immigration and things like this is again like dealing with the US, and a man in the US is a whole other risk in its own, like especially right now. So I just think there's so much going on that is working against her. And I sort of at first was like, why are people being so mean to her? And I still think like, obviously she doesn't deserve to be kicked when she's down, but it is quite crazy how this is like the worst case scenario. It sort of shows like you can say the affirmations, you can have the look, you can have the following who believes in everything that you believe in, and you might not end up living it. That is a scary thought. And it also just shows like, yes, men can be manipulative, but discernment is a tricky thing. Discernment is an Olympic sport, is I think what I'm saying. Because like you can have the intention for years and years, I'm never going to marry a bum. I'm never going to get with a bum. Man's never going to get one over on me. And unfortunately, there is like a switch that can flip on and off. And I think like it can be very tricky. It reminds me of like the whole Bluebeard. Is that what it's called? For women who run with the wolves, like that story is like such a cautionary tale of like, yes, they can talk to you and try to butter you up and like have very sweet words and talk about the life that they're going to give you. And then a switch can literally flip and they want your demise. And I think that it just shows like any kind of woman can fall into that trap, which is why I don't think at the end of the day, she deserves that much judgment. Is the juxtaposition jarring of what she preached and like shows to social media versus like her melting down on live talking about like she can't even see her kid? That's awful.
Honestly, as we're gonna see in this video, and like I said in the intro, I do feel sorry for her, because even though her message was nonsense, in my opinion, no one deserves, okay, let me not say no one. She doesn't deserve to not be able to see her kids. That's messed up. This Landon guy, he's a whole demon. Yeah. He's an entire demon.
And even like if I had never found out about the cheating, this guy would have continued playing this role. Like he would have never changed. So I would have still been probably very in love with him and thought he was an amazing guy. But it's just because I found out who he was that he completely switched and became his true self. But I think for you to fake for a year who you are is really, really insane. Like it's really mentally insane. Like I thought like after 3 months you know someone or whatever, or you know how they are, but you never know someone, never ever.
How do you go from I thought I knew him after 3 months to you never know someone? I'm sure you can know someone. You listen, if we're being like philosophical debates, do you ever know anyone truly? No. The answer is no, because people will always withhold certain stuff, right? People have their own personal shit, right? You will never know everything about it. But let's be for real. You've been with someone 2-3 years, you know them well enough. As well as you can know someone. 3 months? No. So what's happened now is, essentially, she's not a citizen. She's not an American citizen. So her visa's run out. So she has to go back to wherever she's from, right? But they have a baby and they have 50-50 custody. And she's in, I think she's in Japan or something. And he ain't trying to go out there to see her. Like, he ain't trying to go out there to see her. and she can't come back to the US, so she can't see her kids. She can't see her kids, and he's literally withholding him. She's saying, I'll pay for his flights, I'll do everything. He don't want to come. And the only way he will come is if they're together. He is literally a bitter baby mama. Damn!
My house is there, my car is there, my child is there, my whole life is there. So I am literally working with the most expensive lawyers to get my visa and to get back into the United States. Landon knew this, and he knew this all along, but right before I had to leave, he wanted me to get married to him for a green card instead. I refused because he wants to get married so he can come for my money. And he basically went and he got a restraining order against me so that I could not take my child with me. So I had to spend my birthday without my child. I have been begging this man to come to Europe. I'll pay for your flight. Please bring my child. He refuses, and anytime I act like I don't care about my child, or I'm like, okay, whatever, like I'll act like I'm moved. The only way I could literally see my child is if I have to deal with this guy. And even at this point, I don't know what to do. I literally don't know what to do. Like, how do I get rid of this guy and still have my child? Because even if I can't get back into the United States, I'm at risk of this guy getting full custody because my lawyer said getting a child out of the United States is very hard and the laws are so fucked up. Like, I am exhausted. On top of that, this guy is fucking racist. The whole time that I have been in the United States, this guy have told me to get out of his country. I am genuinely exhausted. This guy also always threatened when I was in the US to call ICE on me every time. So he had me in a position where I was genuinely scared of this guy until my sisters told me, like, Liz, stop letting yourself get blackmailed by this guy. Because I was so scared to leave because I was like, I'm gonna lose my child.
After a breakup, you're racist, you're gay, stroke game weak, you're short, you're fat. Ain't that bitch, man. Whole time you were together, was he racist when you were together, or he's only racist now? Now you care about it. Okay.
When the reason that your mom lives in a fucking house, Landon, is because of me, yeah? Don't fucking possible for me. And he's constantly like online trying to portray this narrative that, and I'm like, I don't want to even engage with these people. I don't want to engage with these mentally ill fucking people that he invited into my life, because I don't want to like go online and have to explain myself or have to defend myself. But it's like at this point, I don't know what to do. Like, I've been breaking out like these rashes that I have. I've been having these like since.
There's a, how can I say, an I told you so part. Maybe that's not the word. Karma? No, that's not the word. That's how I feel. Right? There's that side to it. You got played, you got finesse. I mean, look at the way you live your life. I mean, it was kind of gonna happen, right? But also, there's a human part where it's a mother who can't see her kids, and we see this all the time with fathers, and we say how bad it is. So we have to be consistent. Landon's a demon. Landon is allegedly withholding her child from her, not allowing her to see her child. And we know how difficult it is for men in this situation. Imagine being a woman and you've got all these extra emotions, postpartum, all this extra shit. It must be real dark for her. And again, I feel sorry for her in that aspect. I really do. But it's difficult not to harken back and say, if you just like date like a normal person, you know, pick someone based on the context of their character, you probably wouldn't be in this scenario. But look, the internet has been reacting to what's going on, and we're gonna get into some of those. It's a lot of BS. I'll be real. Some stuff, maybe I'll make a video on it later. You have a lot of people coming out going, what do you expect? But there's a lot of weird defenses of her in terms of her message and how contradictory her life is compared to what she was preaching.
I think this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think any of the Wizard Liz drama discredits her. I've seen a lot of the comments now saying, see, we shouldn't listen to these online influencers, they don't practice what they preach. And I just don't think that because she's going through something in her personal life right now that it means all the information she shared can be discredited and it's inaccurate. If you look at any kind of advisor, okay, a coach on a football team, can that coach play football the same way? No, but they know exactly how to do it. Financial advisors, do they have as much money as people who they're advising what to do with their money? No. Do doctors follow all the health advice that they give others? Probably not. Do therapists live a perfect life with no mental health problems? No. You can have all the knowledge on something and just not practice it in your everyday life. There's a difference between having that discipline to practice something and having the knowledge. You can know all the right things to do and not do it. That doesn't mean that the information she shared isn't still helpful, and that if you're strong enough, apply that in your life. I think she is a really strong person. She did apply it. She's been fooled by somebody, and we shouldn't victim blame there. And I think that she'll get through this and she'll be strong, and she'll be a great example for many women that struggle with abusive baby dads that try to control them. And as girls, we should be supporting girls in this moment, not trying to tear her down and villainize her. Everything she said, she's still right, she's still mother, and we all need to wish her the best.
The problem is with what you said at the end. As girls, we should just be supporting girls. That's why you allowed yourself mentally to say the bullshit that you said. Because in your mind, it's just girls should just be uplifting girls and there should be no critical thought. Because what you said was actually crazy, okay? Coaches are more knowledgeable than players. But they can't play, not because they don't want to or they don't want to try or they wouldn't want to. They physically can't. It's literally a skill issue. Yeah, I could shoot like Steph Curry. I could practice like Steph Curry. Just like Steph Curry. We could wake up to the same routine every day practice. I would never be Steph Curry though. I won't do it. Right? You think Russell Westbrook doesn't wake up every day and shoot 500 shots? He still can't shoot. It's a skill issue, okay? Financial advisors, you think the practices that they preach, they don't do it themselves just because they don't have as much money as who they're advising? Who are they advising? Let's say they're advising Trump. Were they born a millionaire like Trump? No. So that argument doesn't make sense. If they are advising an artist, do they have the same skill set as an artist to be able to make that money? No, so that doesn't make sense. But the practices, I'm sure they do it themselves. Whether we're talking about, hey, you should put your money in an ISA, you should do this. I'm sure they do that with their own money. I'm almost certain, actually. Okay, doctors not practicing what they preach would be kind of crazy. That's a little bit insane. If doctors are giving, if a dentist is saying, hey, brother, do this for your teeth, do that, and then they're not doing it, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. So,
The Wizard Liz was targeted, and I don't usually talk about other creators on this platform. I basically just stick to my stuff, but she was targeted by this man, and I believe we need to talk about it. This man studied her. This man knew who she was before he randomly met her at the airport that day. He knew this woman pretended not to, and she had no idea what she was really working with. Landon's ex-girlfriend actually reached out to Wizard Liz to kind of warn about who this guy really was, and she didn't listen. That in itself, obviously in hindsight, maybe she should have. But I will tell you something. If there is an ex-girlfriend, an ex-wife, whatever, reaching out to you, trying to warn you about whoever it is that you're with, before you pin her as the crazy jealous ex, think about it this way. Girls don't usually reach out because they want to ruin your life. They usually reach out because they want to save you, truly, from wasting it. You never know what this guy could have done to this woman previously. You always have to wonder, what has she got to gain out of warning me about this man? Because honestly, Had Wizard Liz listened to his ex-girlfriend, she may not be in this trouble now. And you know what? It is what it is. Here we are. I feel so bad for her, but what I will say, she is a strong woman. She is a mom. There's something that happens once you become a mother. There's this unstoppableness that you feel deep inside. That mama bear is gonna come out and she's gonna win. I know it. Heed the warnings of the exes. There's nothing for them to lose or gain from giving you information and warning you. Some of these girls are worth listening to.
Not only did this ex apparently warn Wizard Liz, but if I'm not mistaken, she helped him file a restraining order against her. Oh boy, it's not funny. It's not funny. Well, it kind of is funny, okay? The idea that she was targeted, go.
No woman can ever outsmart the patriarchy. I just saw the Wizard Liz's video about her explaining she can't have access to her son. Landon is basically fucking with her because he's a sociopathic narcissist. I want this to be a great learning experience for the women that are young and are thinking about having a child with a man. A year, 2 years, 3 years after knowing a man is too soon to be marrying or having a child with one. And if
this is where I don't really, these types of women, the sprinkle, a lot of them, they're preaching to women who like hate men, right? So they view men as just finances. They don't view men as full human beings because they don't really like men, right? So you have a lot of these women who are like anti-relationship. Unless he's rich and he spoils me, right? So you see a situation like Wizard Liz, and all of a sudden now they're gonna come out talking about how, you know, it doesn't matter how long you've known a man, it's not long enough. 5 years is not enough. She got married in 3 months, not 4 years, not 3 years, 3 months, and they were engaged to be married. 3 months.
you disagree, I understand, but I don't think it's ever worth it or ever will be worth it to have a child with a male. It is quite literally the most detrimental decision of your life, and it can make or break your entire life. And no one is the exception to the rule. And this is why I'm a little bit concerned with MJ Gray, who got engaged to this guy after 9 months or a year of knowing him. I know she said she has her caveats, she has her reasons, but what alarms me about that situation is she has said herself that she's too smart to be played or manipulated by a man. There is no woman on this earth that, even the ones like me that make content like this on here, you are not the exception to the rule, which is why marriage and having kids with men is always, it doesn't matter what is in favor for you in the relationship, it will always be a gamble. And you have to be able to admit that. For someone like the Wizard Liz and MJ Gray to think they could outsmart the patriarchy and be the exception to the rule, it's just ignorant, in my opinion. I want women to just admit that when they're making these decisions, that they are taking a huge, massive risk in their lives. You're not smarter than the rest of us. You are just lucky. Like, it's pure luck. I can sit here and give you like 5 examples, like I do in my other videos, like red flags and like the warning signs of like narcissistic behavior in men. But the reality is they literally can fucking give you an Oscar performance for years at a time. They only let their true character show when they see fit. No woman is going to outsmart that. You really never know who they are. I'm not saying that women who want marriage and kids with men are stupid. I don't think they're stupid for wanting those things. I just want women to admit they're not smarter or more special than the rest of us if they have a good outcome with that man.
The majority of women who are in good relationships date like normal people. The people who she's talking to, you don't. You date for money and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you guys talking about risk and all this. Yeah, dating's a risk. Yeah, having a kid's a risk. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty normal. But anyways, look, I want you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. Look, again, I feel sorry for her. Hopefully she can see her child again very soon because, you know, children need both parents in their lives. Hopefully she stops with her advice because it's bullshit and it doesn't work. And, you know, hopefully everything works out after that.
This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone. Blowing weed, smoking the ozone. I just can't let this go. This liquor got me in my zone. Now I'm blowing up your phone.